Says I'm live. Oh no. What am I doing with my life? I honestly don't know what I'm doing with my life right now. This is probably like the worst decision I've ever come up with. I don't believe I have surrogate license key that I can toss in this because I don't think I'm going to keep Windows 10 on this PC, so I'm just going to go ahead and say no. And Windows 10 Home is good enough for my testing. Alrighty, I accept the license terms, and let's go. Ugh, this touchpad is horrible. I'm using this, this Logitech K400 thing, and the touchpad just doesn't seem to like to work. So we're gonna delete whatever's on this drive, which is not really all that useful. And we're gonna get this show, or somewhat of a show, on the road. Although putting this on the road is probably a scary thought. Okay. Alright, and away we go. So, for those who are watching this post-stream and they're wondering, well, what the heck am I installing Windows 10 on? Well, it's this thing right here. This monstrosity, well, actually, it's really not that big at all, of a computer. This is a nettop from early 2009 that you could either have ordered with Windows XP Home Edition or Windows Vista Home Basic. It has a socket AM2 CPU and DDR2 memory, and this is just a surrogate hard drive. Mine, in this case, actually has a DVD burner drive underneath this door. It has 5 USB ports on the front, including a card reader, and 4 more USB ports on the rear, including PS2, Ethernet, surround sound audio, and a modem, and whatnot. Jacob says, make sure you do what I did and disable everything. Nope, I'm not doing that. We're going to use it as is, because I want to get the full Windows 10 experience. Because I think I'm going to make a video out of this. Not a real professionally done video, but I'm going to try to make a video out of using a single-core 64-bit CPU with Windows 10. We're going to get the full experience. And yes, in case anybody's wondering, I am installing 64-bit, and I have gone through the trouble previously of upgrading the RAM. It's at 2 gigs. I know this motherboard can take 4 gigs of RAM, I think. At least 4 gigs as a maximum. I don't remember. But, yeah. And the CPU is a fantastic Athlon 2650E running at 1.6 gigahertz. Single core, single thread. And benchmarks worse than an Intel Atom N2600, I believe. So this thing is genuinely that terrible. But what do you expect for a cheap computer from 2009, so that way they could sell you Windows XP? I saw that message there, Jacob. But yeah, the CPU for 2009 standards was truly awful, and it should have been left in like 2006 or 7, because that's just how terrible it really is. And there's also some other crippling factors about this system, and I hope to eventually make a more in-depth video on it someday. But I guess for those who are watching this now and post, well, you'll get a little bit of an Easter egg. So this system has a crippled chipset. I believe this is based on an older NVIDIA Enforce chipset. I think it's an Enforce 430 chipset, I think. I don't remember. The integrated graphics are GeForce 6150 SE, which, if you know anything about those, was not the greatest back when they were, you know, mainstream back in 2007. So yes, this thing has some truly terrible hardware in it for 2009. The only real major things it's got going for it is the DDR2 RAM, the socket AM2 CPU, the power supply is 80 plus bronze certified, and everything's SATA. And there's plenty of USB ports around the system. The only caveat with this one is there's no PCI Express X16 slot on the motherboard. I'm sure somebody could actually solder one in if they were skilled enough to deal with all of those little solder pads. And it's not impossible, but yeah, I'm sure somebody would enjoy doing that. There's also some other crippling factors about this one in particular. There's no parallel port, although it has a pin header there for one. And I think there's a serial port somewhere, but I don't remember. This one also does not have the FireWire option, so you don't get no FireWire ports. You also don't have looping audio by a little boy who's streaming the stream as well and leaving his audio on. Very, quote, professional. Anyway, so this was truly a terrible computer for 2009 standards. The only reason why it existed is so that way original equipment manufacturers, or OEMs for short, could sell you a Windows XP computer brand new in 2009 while Windows Vista was dealing with a downfall. And that was really your only way to get XP back in the day. Unfortunately, 10 years ago now at this point. It's crazy how long it's been since, XP was actually sold new. So it could have been longer, but of course they extended the sale period because netbooks and nettops, because they just did not run Vista very well because, again, weak single-core CPU. So obviously they intentionally cut corners to save money, but the main benefit was you got Windows XP. And I'll leave more of that rambly story for its own video whenever I make a video on that computer, because it is not very interesting, I guess. Well, maybe some people find it interesting. The hardware itself is extremely boring, but the story is really what makes it an interesting video, I guess. So, long in the making, of course, because, I've just never gotten around to making a video on it. But that might change soon. I don't know. We're at 39% installed. I'm going to actually open up Task Manager real quick, if it will not totally bottleneck the installer. I've never seen Task Manager take that long to open. That is not a good sign. Oh, it's using all the CPU right now. Oh, crap. This thing is using all the CPU to install Windows 10. That is not a good sign. Oh, man. Well, I knew what I was expecting going into this, but like I said, I'm doing it on purpose. So, but we're just going to go into this not making any major changes, so. All right. RAM usage is about what you would expect, given that this has integrated graphics, although I believe the integrated graphics on this system shares 256 megs of the video, or the system memory for video memory, so I might have to go into the BIOS and change that to 128 megs so it doesn't eat more RAM than it has to. I think that's a setting you can trigger in this BIOS, but if not, well, that kind of sucks. Because currently I think it's only got, 1,790 megabytes available to it, because the other 256 megs that should be there from the 2 gigs is being used for video memory because, of course, shared video memory. Why wouldn't they have integrated graphics memory on the chipset? Because, of course, it saves money. Man, look at that graph. That is just all over the place. Mainly it's hitting 100% though, but yeah, we're definitely going to have a fantastic experience. I mean, I guess I could have installed the 32-bit version, but since this is socket AM2, technically it is fully 64-bit compatible, so I might as well make the most of that little dinky CPU. All one core of it. This is definitely going to take a while to install at the pace it's going, because I'm pretty sure a faster system, even with just a dual-core CPU, is about as slow as this would have been done by now. Because that is a SATA 6 gigabit per second hard drive. Definitely not a slouch by any means. Much faster than the drive that's in there, actually, come to think of it. So, yeah, this does not bode well. Well, it doesn't help I'm installing it off a really slow USB stick either, but it's not really that slow when it's reading. I'm going to plug my phone back in so I don't kill it. I was going to stream with the iPad, but it wasn't playing ball and the lens was off center like it always is, so way to go, Google, for aligning your lens and making it on center. It still kind of pees me. Why can't I stream from the iPad and have it be aligned? Like, can they not manage to make an app properly? Or for that matter, can they make anything properly? Oh wait, no they can't. It's Google. What do you expect? Whatever. Yeah, the Jeopardy theme music is real with this one. I have some other things to talk about, but I don't know what I'd talk about. Because not really that much happened. At least for me this weekend, and I've had a really busy school week, so I haven't been able to get around to making another video public. So, I do really intend on making a channel update video soon. I really got to do that. Because I've got some different hardware that I've been meaning to introduce, and I need to update people on how things have been going on my end, and yeah, I just need a dedicated afternoon to doing that. But I'm thinking end of this week, because I do have to go into class for either 2.5 or 3 days this week. So definitely by Thursday, I'll have more free time on my hands. I'm just gonna like power through this school week. So I'll probably put another Ubuntu video up in the meantime. I know it's, you know, not the most interesting content, but as I stated, you know, it's something that goes up on the channel and it's better than no video. And then I'll post the channel update video later this week, because, yeah. It's been a little while since I've chatted about how things are going. It's been like at least 3 months. So, definitely been putting off that. But anyway, there's probably going to be some other things I'll be doing in the meantime. So, I'll just save for when I'm free. I will say, though, I'll hand it to that machine. It's pretty much near silent. I can't even really hear that it's on. I imagine that would change, though, if I had a more powerful CPU in it. But I'm not putting any money into that computer because it's not worth it, because it's a crappy single-core CPU. And besides that, the integrated chipset only has a GeForce 6150 SE, and that's not really worth my time, because it is crap by today's standards. Let's be honest. It wasn't even that good back when it was new in 2007. Well, mainly showing up on PCs in 2007. Because in 2006 they only had the 6100 on the integrated graphics side of things. This system here actually has just the GeForce 6100 integrated graphics, because the chipset's a little bit older. But then again, to be fair, I mean, this system there is socket 939, so it kind of makes sense. Holy moly, I've already been here for like way too long. We'll just put it that way. I don't think oh, I did leave the command prompt running. Let's exit on that. No sense in having that sitting in the RAM. Do. Yeah. Gee, this is taking a lot longer than I was expecting it to. I would have figured it would have been like done by now, but nope. I guess that's what happens when you bottleneck a single core CPU that doesn't have like any guts in it. I'm pretty sure like Intel Atom N2600, if it was compatible with Windows 10, which they're not, but just a point of reference, if they were, yeah, it would have probably been done with this section by now. So that just really speaks for how the CPU is. Yeah. I'll have some more fun with it when I actually get into the OS, see what runs, and I think I'll leave the browser as Edge, because I don't think that Chrome or Firefox is going to help save this chip from playing YouTube any better, because Edge actually does a pretty good job of doing graphics acceleration. And I know this is true because I used a AMD E2 APU on Windows 10 in one of my HP Pavilion 23 all-in-ones. And I remember that Edge would always play YouTube the best, and Chrome was always a close second. It could never do 60 FPS video. It would always stutter every now and again, but it was very close. And then Firefox just didn't handle it very well at all, which I'm kind of surprised because, you know, it's got a up-to-date graphics driver that has YouTube acceleration in the driver, and Edge seems to know how to take advantage of it, but everybody else is either close or doesn't, so something that I noticed. So that'll more than likely be what I leave on this thing is Edge for the web browser, as much as people would attempt to have me use something else, but I'm going to, you know, tell them it's like, in certain cases, Edge is actually better. So that'll make for an interesting little discussion in the chat room, depending on how many people actually would watch that video whenever I get around to making it. So, yeah. Need some things to talk about. It's getting kind of boring in here. Oh, I guess now we do. It's almost done. Oh, I should have left Task Manager open. Would have been interesting to see the CPU graph. I'm sure it'd be at 100% right now, just like it was earlier, probably. And of course, when I'm done with all this experimentation, it's going to go right back on to the original 160 gig hard drive, where it has Windows XP. Actually, that was another thing that I remembered. I know this video isn't exactly the most interesting, but it's just an installation video. It's just kind of a thingamajig, so... Oh no, I got posted in the chat for being live. Anyway, another spot where they crippled these nettops was in the hard drive capacity. Actually, the same thing went for netbooks too. Because most systems around the time, even the low-end ones, had at least either 250 gigs or 320 gigs of hard drive space. And some of the nicer systems had 500 or 640 gig or 750 gig. And if you were really lucky, you got a 1 terabyte drive. And in some semi-rare cases, you could even get one of the really expensive, back in the day at least, solid-state drives. But those cost a hell of a lot of money, and those are only like 80 gigs or 120 gigs, mainly only used for storing your OS. But no, they really crippled the heck out of this system because they only gave it a 160 gig hard drive when it was new, and that was a mechanical hard drive. So I guess to no surprise by anybody, yeah, it was definitely not a great system. But it served its purpose, I guess, and that is it gave somebody, back when it was new, a cheap Windows XP computer back in the midst of when Windows Vista was absolutely getting its lunch taken away from it by Apple with OS X and the switch to a Mac, or get a Mac campaign. That's what I was referring to, which is probably one of the most prolific ad campaigns in television history, and internet history for that matter. Probably one of the most prolific ad campaigns ever, let's be honest, in the technology world, if you wanted to convene it to that. I'm sure there's be like a list of all the most controversial advertising campaigns, but definitely the Get a Mac campaign was up there on the list back in the late 2000s when Vista just sucked. Apple absolutely ate Microsoft's lunch on that one. Kind of sucks they don't do stuff like that anymore. I guess it's Apple's time to figure out how business works and move on and learn some new tricks. Or, I guess in my opinion, or maybe some other people's opinions, get a different CEO that seems more motivated to make some more rapid changes. And I'm not saying that Tim doesn't do stuff well, but he seems to be... what was I thinking? He seems to not be ready to change nearly as much. I mean, granted, there has been change, but, you know, whatever. That's another discussion for another day. I'd have to form some thoughts on that one personally before I get into a discussion. But, no, definitely back in the day, they were absolutely eating Microsoft's lunch. Absolutely. And this is probably going to be the longest part of the installation process. Aside from the Cortana setup, that's going to also take an equally long amount of time, but this is probably going to be one of the longest. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do, I don't know if it's going to let me do this, but let's see if I can balance this up here. Nah, not really that good of a field of view, and I mainly blame my charging cord for this, because my charging cord is slightly kind of, actually that's not too bad. As long as it doesn't fall over, it should be alright staying there. But knowing my luck, my phone's probably going to fall over. But anyway. You know, one thing I'm already noticing, I noticed the CPU is getting taxed again because this little getting ready spinny wheel thing is lagging. And normally it doesn't even do that on a halfway average computer. Even crappy ones from the late 2000s could handle this a lot better than how this thing is doing it right now. Oh, this PC needs a graphics card. You can't put a graphics card in this. There's no PCI Express X16 slot. And the only one that it does have is a PCI Express X1 slot. And currently that has a modem in it. And I do not have a PCI Express X1, nope, not even AGP. There's literally nothing besides one low-profile PCI Express X1 slot on this motherboard. Has the artifact for an X16 link slot, but it's not installed on this motherboard. The later ones do. So you can put a low-profile graphics card into one of the later nettops that they made. Maybe a GT430 PCI board. There's not even a PCI slot. I'm not joking. There's only the one PCI Express X1 slot on the motherboard. There is literally no other slot. That is it. One PCI Express X1. So, this thing is literally the biggest hunk of crap that you could have bought back in 2009. And the only reason why you would have bought it is so that way you could have Windows XP. I am not joking, that's how terrible this computer really is. So, yeah. Oh, it is definitely, it is choking bad. Oh, man. But yeah, I believe the integrated GeForce 6150 SE graphics should work just fine as long as I use the Windows 8 driver. Obviously, it's not going to do much to help accelerate the video, but at least as long as it has a display driver that Windows likes, that's really all I care about. Because there's no way in hell you're going to be able to use this thing with a Microsoft Basic display adapter driver. There's just no way. It's going to be too slow. But again, I'm going to look, and I didn't do this when it rebooted, but definitely when this thing reboots, I'm going to go into the BIOS, and I'm going to see if I can reduce the amount of video memory. Why live stream blurry and buffering? Well, I'm not going to make a video clip and then try to edit it on the Mac Mini over there and deal with some bad RAM and have this video get out like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days later when I've already done all my stuff. And besides, this is just an installation video. If I was to make an actual video, it's going to be of me actually using it. And so that's going to be the part where it's actually worth making a video on. It's not really worth making a video about doing the installation process because, well, who watches it? A live stream is just easier for me right at the moment anyway because it's a lot more quick and all that fun stuff. And I apologize if it is blurry because the internet's probably not doing so good. And it also doesn't help that my camera is not really focusing on the TV right at the moment. But the more entertaining content will come in an actual video if I decide to do further anything with this machine. Because this is just basically some testing that I'm doing, and I figured I'd live stream it along the way and give some kind of interesting entertainment to somebody who's watching this. I mean, I'm certainly kind of getting a kick out of it because it's so friggin' slow. I've never seen that loading animation go so slowly. So I guess it's entertaining in that aspect. I know it's not exactly too entertaining, as I've stated, but... Oh my god, that was so slow. Oh, I can't wait to see how the desktop's going to run. You know, actually, some food for thought. A Pentium 4 would run better than this nettop right now. Probably a Cedar Mill or a Prescott Socket 775 Pentium 4 would run better than this eMachine nettop. Probably not by much, but it would run better. Because it would have hyperthreading at its beck and call, which at least helps a little bit. And, you know, it's not much, but it would at least help a little bit. So, yeah, single core, single thread. This is going to be some interesting testing. Oh, restarting. Finally. Oh my god, it took forever. But yeah, I'm going to check the BIOS. I'm going to see if I can change the video memory setting. And I only really need 128 megs of video memory at a minimum. So I want to see if I can turn that down and give some more RAM to Windows. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Not that menu. Not that menu either. Oh, there we go. Alright, so we want to do 128 megs. Hopefully give a little bit more RAM to Windows, because it's going to need all the RAM it can get. Ah, beep. And definitely, when the RAM gets low, the hard drive is going to come to the system beck and call, because it's a modern 750 gig drive I'm just using as a surrogate. It is only a 5400 RPM, yes, but it is a SATA 6 gig per second drive, so that is kind of helping it out. Actually, that was a smidge faster than the last time. But, oh, it's going to get even... I guess you could say in my Discord language, it's going to get even funner. But easily, this has been one of the longest Windows 10 setup installation things I've ever done. Easily one of the longest. Clean installation, I should be more specific. Upgrades obviously take a lot longer, but as far as clean installations go, this has been one of the longest. Alright, it is currently 9:32. You know, just as a joke, this is a terrible experiment, but I'm going to try making a bag of popcorn, and I'm going to see if my microwave will pop a bag of popcorn before the Cortana-based part of the setup actually comes up on the screen on this computer. I have a feeling that the popcorn is going to pop faster. That, I just really want popcorn. Remember how long it took. I think it was a minute. Yeah, I'll throw 2 minutes and then I'll stop it when it's done. Anything interesting happen in the chat? I see 420. Sorry, Stu toned in. I can't even speak either. I guess you're not the only one who's tired. Oh man, I just completely fumbled that comment. Matthew Wong is asking, what are the specs in this computer? Literal crap. No, I'm just kidding. But that's I say that intentionally. The CPU is an AMD Athlon 2650E at 1.6 gigahertz. It is a single core, single thread, 64-bit CPU, just barely, on socket AM2. It has 2 gigs of DDR2 memory. 128 megs of it is being used for video memory at the moment. It has a surrogate hard drive, a 750 gig, just being used for this particular practice. It normally has a 160 gig drive. And it's just using the integrated NVIDIA GeForce 6150 SE video from the chipset. Because I cannot put a graphics card in this computer because I do not have one that uses PCI Express X1. But can it play Siege? Probably. It can't even play the original Half-Life. I'm dead serious. I was trying to play it earlier, and it kept stuttering. So this computer is a complete hunk of crap. And we are doing the absolute worst that you could ever do. And I absolutely just called that. It made a bag of popcorn faster than it could get to the Cortana-based part of the setup. Was I right or what? That is just amazing. Can 3D Mark 99 work? I suppose it probably would. I don't see why not. This is a DirectX 9 capable GPU. So I don't see why it wouldn't work. I have to get it installed, but yeah, I could probably give that a try. I gotta find something to put this popcorn in. I think I've got an extra cup up here, yeah. It'd be interesting to see if the sound works. It'd be interesting to see if the voice setup will actually work, which I highly doubt. Ah, this is hot. Ah. I'm like trying not to burn my hand on this popcorn at the moment. Try putting in an SSD. I do not own an SSD, and nor is an SSD going to go in this computer. It's not worth putting any money into. It's so slow that it literally can't even play. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the case. I'm pretty sure it can't even play 480p YouTube. I'm just going to put that out there right now. It probably won't. Somebody's asking if it can run Crysis. You might be able to start it, but I don't know about playing it. All right, finally, I'm getting somewhere. Holy moly, that is that was some good frame rate there. Some muy bien frame rates. That was a terrible use of Spanish also. Do. Holy, I just told it yes on the keyboard selection and it's still loading. Oh my sweet Jesus. Wow. I have never seen just one screen of this setup process take so long to load. I mean, I do have a mouse cursor. Can I shift F10 or something to bring up a command prompt? I don't think I can at this point in the setup. I don't think it lets you. Oh my God. I remember telling it, yes, my region is United States. I don't know what happened to the selecting a keyboard part of the setup. I wonder what it's doing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What are we doing? Oh! Ooh! Oh, there's the task. There's the command prompts. Okay. So, I'm going to launch Task Manager real quick. And I'm going to set it to run always on top real quick. And let's try this again. Oh, no. Okay. Let's just try again. And, oh my god. Oh my goodness. It's so slow that Task Manager is not responding. Wow. Holy crap. Why am I not surprised? The utilization is 100% and it's maxing out the clock speed. Yeah, you know how garbage the CPU is? It's only got 512K of level 2 cache. Even the lowest end of like Intel Pentiums from 2006 or 2007 had at least 1 megabyte of level 2 cache. Great Pineapple, you did not miss the live part of this stream. It is actually live in the making right now. We are legit waiting for this setup to finish. Oh my, holy crap. Wow. That's amazing at how slow this really is. You know, I should be totally sarcastic right now and say that this is the greatest idea I've had all weekend. Because this absolutely is not, but it absolutely is. Just imagine if somebody actually tried to use Windows 10 on a computer like this for daily use. I'd be horrified at the startup speed. Holy moly. It is not going down right at the moment. That CPU usage is just slammed at 100%. Wow. That's impressive. That is legit impressive. I don't even know if we can get through the out-of-box experience. And for those wondering, no, at least not initially, I am not putting in my Microsoft account because I fear that's going to cause an extreme amount of slowdown. So I'm just going to set it up as a local user. Although I do plan on running store apps on this computer, assuming that everything works out. So yes, eventually I do plan on putting my Microsoft account into this, but not initially because it would just take way too long to sync everything. From what I'm seeing right now, yeah, that's absolutely going to be the case, you know. Just a moment. It's been like a good 2 minutes already after I just said try again, and we're not getting anywhere. We're still pegging the CPU at 100%. I almost wonder if disconnecting this thing from the internet would be a good idea right now. I think I'm going to do that. Because I think it's trying to do too much on that one little dinky CPU core, and it is not in its favor. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Yeah. It's just... Oh, wow. Did you see the graph? It, like, nearly plummeted to 0 after that stopped. Oh, no. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and hit skip for now. I think it'll automatically configure the region when I'm in the desktop, so I'm not even going to worry about it. Now, please do not bring up the network settings because it's connected to Ethernet. And believe me, I'm going to have an entertaining title for this video whenever I get around to making it. I'm going to have probably something very clickbaity. Probably the world's slowest Windows 10 PC. I don't know. I have to come up with something. Because, yeah, this is absolutely, without a doubt, borderline the slowest PC you could ever hope to run Windows 10 on. And for that matter, in 64-bit mode. This is taking full advantage of that little CPU. Wow. Yeah, it's just steady. It will not go down. This is the best PC for your grandparents. Probably not. I mean, to be fair, I mean, my grandma uses 2 computers. She uses one with an Athlon 2 X2. I don't remember which one it is. I think it was an Athlon 2 X2 260. I think that's the chip it uses. I don't remember. It could have been an Athlon 2X2 245, but I think that's a different system I'm thinking of. Anyway, and then the other system she has uses a Core i3 7100U because it's an all-in-one that is an energy saver style of computer. Those seem to serve very well. Never really had many issues with them besides, well, the lack of RAM on the all-in-one because it only has 4 gigs and the hard drive really isn't that fast. So it's quite a slow computer by design. So I imagine if it had like an Intel Optane or something in it, it would probably speed it up significantly, but I don't know if it has an Intel Optane slot on the motherboard. I haven't bothered to take it apart, and it's really not worth my time at the moment because she doesn't use it very much, so kind of is what it is. I mean, and besides, once it gets running, it's fine. It usually runs pretty well once it gets started up, but, you know. Okay, screw this. Just skip the keyboard. You can't even do the setup process properly, so don't even bother with it. Like, this thing is so slow, it can't even do the out-of-box experience. That's amazing. It can't even load any of the out-of-box experience screens. Can at least do this next upcoming part. Or are we just going to get stuck on an endless just a moment screen and then it goes to a white screen and says, oh no, we can't do this screen. You should try and fix broken phones or consoles off of eBay and try to fix them. Unfortunately, at the moment, I just don't have the time or budget to do that. I would love to work on stuff like that, but again, as I stated, I just don't have the time or the money to fork out for something like that because I'm currently a college student and, you know, I kind of have to fend for myself at the moment amongst some other real-life things at the moment, so there's just not a lot that I can do. So yeah, I know of other YouTubers that do that sort of thing, either as their job or as a hobby, but no, I just can't at the moment, at least. And for that matter, I don't even have the right equipment to do stuff like that, depending on the severity of the issues a particular unit might have. Somebody's asking, what do you study in college? I'm currently doing a program called Information Technology and Communication Systems. Basically what it is an all-rounder sort of course, a 2-year course that is designed to help train you as an entry-level technician, and you get an associate's degree in, I believe, applied science, and you get some other certifications like CompTIA A+, and so on and so forth, and Cisco networking, and you at least get some kind of gratification for job. Are you kidding me? You literally had to do that for a screen that would otherwise have gave me a skip button. Wow, that's really pathetic. I'm literally just going to be sitting here pressing skip throughout the entire setup process because it's just how slow this computer is. It can't even do anything. Like, this whole out-of-box experience is a complete waste of my time because it can't do a thing. I don't even know how I was able to load the first page in the first place if it can't even load all the rest of them. Amazing. It is just that slow. Matthew 1 takes information technology in high school. He uses Cisco Academy for our lessons. So that's kind of cool. Now, our high school, let me be honest, it wasn't that great. It did have a couple of things, like we had an engineering class, and oh, hello, flash the desktop there for a moment. That happened. Well, so much for that. I don't know what it's doing now. We're back on just a moment screen. Oh no. If it is so slow that it's going to break the out-of-box experience process, I'm going to laugh. Oh my goodness. What a piece of crap. I have no idea what it's doing now. I don't even know how people would have the patience to use this computer in the modern day with modern operating systems, let alone when this thing was back in the day, like, you know, a new computer in 2009 running Windows XP. Well, maybe back then it wasn't so bad, but even by 2009, a single core would have been struggling like bad. I would jump off a cliff if that was my PC now. Yeah, probably the same here. Let's be honest. This thing is a complete nightmare right at the moment. I mean, I guess you could technically say this computer can run Windows 10, but would it actually be usable? Yeah. How does school have all Windows disk image? Like, I see the computer guy have the USB drive installed. Great Pineapple. That's a thing that I can actually answer because I worked at, well, I did a job shadow sort of thing for my IT department at my school before I graduated on my last 6 months. What they do is they go around with a portable hard drive and a bootable USB stick. And in our case, we used Clonezilla. And what they would do is they would go around with a particular, system image of the OS that was being deployed at the time, which in our case was Windows 10. I think it was Creators Update or Fall Creators Update 1709 at the time, because 1803 was having major issues. So we used 1709. Anyway, yeah, that's what we used. And it worked pretty well. The only problem is with UEFI systems, we had to turn UEFI off, so that way it would image properly. Okay, now I'm genuinely curious. What is taking up all the CPU? if I can even get Task Manager to come back up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's like not even using much RAM at all. It's actually sitting pretty comfortable at the moment. But holy moly. As I stated before, must be a Microsoft service. Yeah, I was about ready to say I was going to disconnect it from the internet, but I think it's actually trying to download drivers right at the moment, so I think that could also be hogging all the CPU. I actually do not know. So let me see if I can... It's actually the desktop window manager that's taking all the CPU up. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? Task Manager is now using all the CPU. What? Get out of here. Also, get out of here, desktop window manager, and quit using all the CPU. Yeah, that is literally what's doing it right now. Can I just end the out-of-box experience? I need to go find oobe.exe and end it, because it is obviously not doing anything right at the moment. Oh, no. Oh, no. Come on. Give me my details list. Okay, thank God. Yeah, see, it's just not loading anything. It's just not doing anything right. Something's just not... What one... I think default user 0 was what's currently running. I'm not sure which one is the out-of-box experience. I might go to process. I might see if it tells me something here. Actually, while I have this opportunity, I'm going to go disconnect the Ethernet cable. And then that should hopefully prevent something from running in the background. And then I'm going to also just keep Task Manager off to the side. I'm just going to hit skip. And let's see if it'll actually do something more productive now that it's not being tied to the network. Yeah, for some reason, the desktop window manager is just hogging everything for itself. That's a bit ridiculous. Why, I don't know. That's a bit it doesn't really need that much CPU to do anything. Okay, where is the out-of-box experience process? I'd be more than happy to close that and get to the desktop. But no my luck, I'm probably going to have to wait this whole setup process out. Microsoft's very obviously not going to make that easy for us to get to. Well, since we know what we're expecting, I'm just going to go ahead and close out a Task Manager. I know that Desktop Window Manager is just going to use everything for itself, and Task Managers, it's not going to help out with the CPU usage. Oh. Is it doing anything more productive now? I have a feeling that's going to be a big no. I would laugh if Alt-Tab does something. Yeah, Microsoft account sign-in pages. Yeah, those aren't going to work. I love it. A few hours later. That is so freaking true for this computer. That is so true. I wouldn't even try to joke about that. That is literally probably what would happen. Because it's just so slow. It runs smoothly. Yeah, that is a big sarcasm. It runs fine. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly normal. /S. I think it's safe now. I can pull up this USB stick. It doesn't need to be needed in the computer at all. 24 hours later, just a moment, please. Yeah, quite literally. I will say, though, these out-of-box experiences are probably the worst part of installing Windows 10. Because once you get past this and you're actually on the desktop, it isn't nearly as bad. I can probably take back what I say afterwards if this is the case on this computer where it actually doesn't, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case, so I'll probably eat my words about how it'll run better after the out-of-box experience. That's not doing a thing, but I could get a surprise. And by that, I'll just mean like, oh man, it launched 1 second faster. It still took like a minute and a half. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to make a difference when I pull the network cable. I mean, it might have done something, but I doubt it. I might just cut the live stream at some point if this doesn't actually end up working out, because it's not really worth just sitting here streaming a just a moment screen. It's really not entertaining and worth streaming. So if that's the case, I'll probably just cut it early, and I'll probably follow up in my Discord if it ever finally gets to the desktop and I can actually, like, you know, use Windows Explorer to some extent. If that's the case, then you know, I'll actually do that, but I don't even know if we're going to get that far at this point. I can try on Discord to send you Windows 10 Lite version. No thanks. It's not really worth my time. I've already installed Windows 10. It's not really worth installing a Lite version because even then it's, you know, I've already installed it, so. And most people are going to be running like Windows 10 Home on a system like this if they were to even do that. And I'm probably going to compare Linux in this case to Windows 10 on this PC because that's probably the easiest comparison to make. Are you kidding me? Are we still stuck on the same thing? I thought I hit skip on this 2 times already. Like, please tell me we can get out of this setup process. I would love to exit this. Can we just proceed and move on? That's all I want to do. Like, holy crap. Like, I don't... I hit skip. I hit skip 3 times now. That's the 3rd time I've hit skip on the same, like, out-of-box experience region section. And we still haven't proceeded, apparently, because nothing seems to be happening at all. Like 3-4 times. It just seems to be going back to the same thing over and over again. And I closed out of Task Manager so that we'd have more CPU to use, so that way the background process wasn't hogging it. But obviously that doesn't seem to be making a difference, so that's nice. That's why I was saying it's like, if it doesn't seem to proceed, I'm just going to go ahead and call it for the stream, because it's not really worth streaming the same screen for like half an hour. Because who wants to watch that besides listen to my ugly voice and commentary, I guess? I don't know. Knowing my luck, I'll probably have to boot this in safe mode just to make the account. Actually, I wonder if, oh, what did I do now? Are you for real right now? What did I do? no idea what I just did. I don't even know what I just did. Well, this is going splendidly. Well, I saw that somebody liked the stream. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. For all of the suffering I'm going through at the moment. Well, actually, I shouldn't say suffering. It's science. We're doing this for science. Can we even do it? I think the answer is no. I guarantee you that Windows 8.1 would run a lot better on this PC. Heck, even Windows Vista would probably run a lot better. Bill Nye, the science guy. Sorry if I spelled it wrong. It's, yeah, Bill Nye is a N-Y-E. Otherwise, you pretty much had it right. Oh my word. I don't know what I have done. I have officially, I think, broke the out-of-box experience process. This is going fantastic so far. Proud 22BMe asks, it's an older machine. I believe it's like 10 years old at this point. You must have just joined in. Yeah, this machine is like 10 years old, and it was a piece of garbage when it was new, yeah, specs wise, because it was a nettop, and you can obviously see it's struggling to even just load Task Manager at the moment in Windows 10. So that's the kind of machine we're dealing with right now. This is slower than a Raspberry Pi running Windows on ARM. I'm almost guaranteeing it. This is the slowest PC on Windows 10 at this moment. The slowest. You cannot possibly find anything any slower than this, I'm sure. Unless, of course, you are intentionally running an old CPU and like jacked Windows 10, but this is the slowest fully supported CPU to my knowledge. It's currently on Windows 10 right now. Single core, single thread, 1.6 gigahertz. Can we just end this Microsoft account process? That would be great. Because I'm sure that that is definitely not helping. And I disconnected the, and then I guess, moment. You betcha. Anyway, they were asking how much RAM does it have. It currently has 2 gigs of RAM. This is upgraded from the original 1 gig of RAM. And 128 megs of it is currently being used for video memory because of the shared video memory aspect of the system. So it currently has like 1.8 something gigs of RAM being given to it, which is actually doing pretty good on itself right at the moment. But yeah, the CPU is the obvious painstaking bottleneck of the entire system right at the moment. I'm actually thinking of finding the desktop window manager process. Yeah, there it is. I'm just going to end it, which won't really harm the system. It just forces it to crash, and it'll still run the system. It'll just obviously not have the DWM process. So we're just going to go ahead and end this process. And hopefully this will give more resources to the system. Yeah, there we go. I bet you that did absolutely nothing, though. Yeah, it just restarted the whole system. It just restarted the process. It did absolutely nothing. Of course, it does absolutely nothing. What else would it do? I'm thinking we're just going to start, like, killing processes and hoping that the system will hopefully let me past Just so I get to the desktop. That's all I'm wanting right now. Get me out of this cage of, like, nothing. You can see how long it's taking to draw the window on the screen. I just want to kill this process so I can get to the desktop. Ugh. Holy moly. Okay. I'm just going to do this. Kill this. We're just going to start ending processes. That did absolutely nothing. Oh no, please. Get me out of this. Holy moly. Okay, well I can probably end explore. That's really not necessary to do this. That'll definitely free up some CPU. Can I end logon UI? That might not let me do that. That's a system process. It's probably the old Thermos heatsink. No, it's not. It's not the thermal paste. The thermal paste is fine. The CPU is just literally that slow at the moment. What else can we end? Can we end the smart screen process? I don't think that's really necessary at the moment. Okay, can I just not have this process running, please? Just take me to the desktop. Get me out of here. Okay, explorer.exe. Yep, I hit explorer.exe. I don't know what it's going to do, but... yeah. This is, yeah, it is still in the setting up Windows phase, but literally this computer is so slow that it cannot do anything in the out-of-box experience. Everything always pops up with a something went wrong screen because it's taking so long to do anything that it just locks up on itself and it just stops. And it literally is not loading anything at the moment. That's great. At least it's not using all the CPU anymore. I'll give it that. Otherwise, yeah, nothing else is going on. I'm gonna just go ahead and start ending some of these critical ones until I can. Nope, that one doesn't work. Can I do this one? That one did something. Not very good, but it did something. Oh, there we go. I think it's logging me out. Yeah, there we go. Definitely killed the process. That was critical to the system, so now it's doing something different. Hopefully in a good way, please. Get me out of the out-of-box experience so I can move on with my life. No! I've done it. Okay. Dare say we do this again. I say we'll give it one more try. But I have a feeling this is going to go about as well as it did last time, so we're probably going to have to force it into safe mode in order to even log in for the first time, and that's about the limit we're going to get at with this, I'm pretty sure. Hey, MK, how's it going? Glad to see you can tune into this very entertaining live stream. Where we have gotten absolutely nowhere with this out-of-box experience. We're back to square one. I killed a bunch of critical system processes, and literally all it did is just relaunch the out-of-box experience. That's all it did. I had to disconnect it from the network as well, because I think that's what was using up all the CPUs, because it was trying to do stuff in the background, and it was getting nowhere at all. And I have a feeling it's going to be a repeat. So, yeah, I have a gut feeling we're going to have to force this into safe mode, because I guarantee you it's going to, like, bypass all this out-of-box experience crap, and it'll finally get into a new user account the old-fashioned way. Or at the very least, it should give me access to the administrator, so at the very least I can actually, like, log into some kind of account and then create another account, so that way I can log in and leave the big administrator account disabled. That's the dream, but I don't think we're going to get anywhere near that. So if it doesn't work this time, I'm just going to say screw this, and I'm just going to force it off. I'm not even going to try shutting it down. It's going to take too long. I'm just going to force it off, and we're going to just do the whole on, off, on thing to get it into the advanced boot up options, and then we'll just select the safe mode option. Even if you get to the desktop, chances are Windows will find a way to lock up with its own tasks. It does. Yeah, that's probably bound to happen. Probably. I wouldn't doubt that. I might give it the benefit of the doubt, though. I might go safe mode with networking, and I'll plug back in the network cable, but I don't think that's going to do much, because even in safe mode, all of the big, like, telemetry processes are not going to be running, which is a good thing because I don't need it to be hogging all the system resources. So even in safe mode, they won't run, so that's a good thing. And in safe mode, I'll also take the opportunity to probably go download the video driver, probably some other drivers. I'm sure that I'm going to need them. Yeah, I have a feeling this is not going to work. I have a gut feeling this is not going to do anything. Alright, survey says, yep, called it. Called it. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and force it off, and we're going to do the safe mode trick. We're just going to force it off. I wonder if the heatsink's warm. I'll have to gently take a feel for the heatsink. Oh, the heatsink's not even that warm at all. It's within normal temperature range. Okay, cut power. And as soon as I see the Windows logo, I'm going to cut power again. Alright, cut power. And now, the preparing recovery options, or whatever it is, should come up now. And while it does that, I'm going to give you some water. Cool, it is coming up. That's a good thing. Okay. Did I miss anything in the chat while I was gone? Is the CPU can be upgraded? Firstly, can you English? Just asking, because that was a really Englishy response. And two, yes, it can, if I was willing to put the money into it. It's a standard socket AM2 motherboard, mini ITX form factor. So, yes, I could actually put in a faster CPU if I really wanted to. I'm not going to, because I'm leaving the system as is, just for the sake of, keeping the history of this PC for its actual designed operating system, which is Windows XP. But yes, technically, if I really wanted to, I could upgrade the CPU on this thing. How fast is the processor? I will more than gladly look up the benchmark scores for you right now, actually. Prepare to be amazed in the state of underwhelming numbers, actually. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. AMD Athlon 2650E benchmark. All right. All right. So, this is the benchmark of the CPU that is currently being used. 1 core, there is the CPU mark from Passmark. 409. Low margin of error. Abysmal. Okay. So let's go to advanced options. You go to troubleshoot, advanced options, startup settings, and restart. And as I stated, I'm going to plug in the network cable, so at least have some kind of something. I don't even know if it has a network driver, but I'm just going to give it the benefit of the doubt if it does. And we want safe mode with networking, that's number 5. Of course, when it boots safe mode, there's no loading logo. You have to just wait. I don't like that about safe mode. I wish they would leave the loading logo in there, but it is what it is. And I mean, to be fair, if you were to compare boot times between this and an Intel Atom N270, they'd probably boot up about the same speed. Was 10 side-loaded, or did you just replace XP? I just replaced the drive with a surrogate drive and installed 10 as a standalone. The original drive that has the original install of XP is still inside the system, so... Yeah, that pretty much represents this machine right now. It is so slow. Oh my goodness. I guarantee you it's probably going to pull back up the out-of-box experience once again. Having fun with emojis there, Justin? I can clearly see that in the chat. While I wait for that... Oh, yeah, it did actually go right back to the out-of-box experience. Now, well, I'm wondering... How is our resources doing as far as the CPU goes? Oh, that is actually looking quite a bit better on the CPU side of things, but I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. Let's press yes. Out-of-box lag experience. Yeah. Oh, that's looking much, much better. Oh, no, no. No, it's not. No, it's not. Are you kidding me? Alright, let me close Task Manager real quick. Oh my god. Wow. Oh my goodness. If this doesn't even make it through in safe mode, I'll be amazed. I will literally be amazed. I have faith in you, though. I have faith in this machine. I want to give it every moment it has. I just want it to complete the out-of-box experience, that's all. Oh, no. Okay, well that was probably expected because I'm in safe mode. So I'm going to try to spam the skip button. I did force it into safe mode, by the way. Because I did the whole startup, force the power off, startup, force power off, start it up. Then I forced it into safe mode through that advanced startup options menu that they give you at that screen. And then I selected safe mode at that screen when it reboots. And I'm not any worse off than I was, but I'm thinking because I'm in safe mode, there's not nearly as much running, so I should be somewhat okay. I hope. It would just be nice to get out of this out-of-box experience and just get to the desktop. I'm gonna do a little bit of research here off camera. So apparently, even according to Microsoft, they say you can use Control-Shift F3. I don't know if that's going to work, but they say that it reboots the computer into audit mode and the sysprep tool appears, but I don't think that's something I would want. And I'm not sure if that's supposed to run like on the setup program itself, or if that's how you do it in the out-of-box experience product. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it does absolutely nothing. So you would have to do it at the setup prompt. Because all I want to do is to just quit the out-of-box experience. Yeah, this might actually be impossible. I might have to do an upgrade from 8.1 or Windows 7 just to even get into Windows 10. Because I don't even know if I can get past this screen. I don't even know why this is running. Can I just close it? Okay, there's nothing running. See, and the annoying thing is there's no command prompt that's coming up either. And another annoying thing is I don't have like the older Windows 10, so I can get past this Cortana setup. And see, look how long it's taking to load the command prompt. Well, to be fair, I hit the key command like 2-3 times, so it probably took forever to come up. Oh, the mouse is lagging too. Oh no. I just want to end this out-of-box experience and get to the desktop. That's all I want. Ugh. I doubt this is going to do anything because it probably doesn't exist, but yeah, it doesn't exist. Alright. We're just going to start forcing processes to quit, I think. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah, if I quit the desktop window manager, it just restarts itself. Because it's forced to run in Windows 10, which kind of sucks. The only place it doesn't run is that advanced options menu. which is unfortunate. So I'm going to do the same thing with Smart Screen. Let's kill that. I think the executable for the out-of-box experience is wwahost.exe. And you can see the desktop. You can see it like flash for a brief moment of time there, so it's there. But this process is intentionally not allowing me to see it. So how annoying is that? And now nothing is loading. Ugh. Can command prompt be pull up in another less intensive screen? I would love to, but unfortunately I can't because this out-of-box experience is taking priority. And I literally cannot get past it because, well, I just can't get past it because it just is so dang slow that I can't. So, yeah. What I am going to do here while I'm in safe mode is I'm going to disable... Oh, there are no startup items. I was going to say I was going to disable OneDrive, but that's not even been set up yet, so I can't even see that. So, I wonder if this app model does anything. Doesn't appear to. Huh. I guess it just restarted itself. I don't know. One thing I'm going to try to do, I'm going to just hopefully tell this to, like, alright, can I just go to details? And then I want this to friggin'... I'm just going to say, like, just normal priority. Just change the priority of it so it'll quit using all the system resources, because seriously, this is getting kind of old now. Now, where's the... There it is, right there. So this, I want to probably leave the same priority. I think we'll give it high priority. I don't think this does really anything at all, but it just makes me feel better. I'm willing to bet majority of the process will just reset themselves because of Windows. Yeah, and the problem with that is I'm still in the out-of-box experience, and that's probably just going to trigger all the processes I'm closing all over again. And, oh, it's just not having it. It's absolutely just not having it. I wonder if this si-host.exe is going to do anything. I know that if you accidentally kill explorer.exe and you're not allowed to create another process, like if you have a group policy restriction, you can kill si-host.exe and then it'll force explorer.exe to reset, I believe. Oh my goodness. Jesus, Murphy. Oh my. Ah, there's a command prompt. No! I was so close! No! 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 No, no, no. I was so close. You saw the desktop there for a brief moment. Ah! Could you swap for faster hardware to set up, then switch back after? And that would probably be the best way to go, honestly. I might just do that. Technically, I have a machine right here, Windows 10. I can just borrow the hard drive out of it and pop it into the other system, since they're roughly the same age and the same era, but that one has a dual-core CPU. Granted, it runs 100 megahertz slower, but it has a dual-core CPU, so that helps immensely. And it's got double the memory of this system, and it has its own dedicated... No, it uses shared video memory, but it's significantly more responsive than this thing, so maybe I might give that a try. And we'll give it a shot in this computer. But I saw the Explorer there for a minute. I really did. However, it quit responding, so we're just going to go ahead and end that. Okay. So we're at a command prompt. The out-of-box experience is not running. So that's progress. So what I want to try now, I want to see if I can at least open Internet Explorer. Just something to try. Oops. I don't know where that's located. I don't remember where Internet Explorer is located. I think I gotta go back to the root. CD program, files. Yeah, there's Internet Explorer. There we are. There we are. Hey, there we go. I can at least do something with it. I think it's got network. Yeah, it's loading MSN. It's got a network driver. Sweet. Okay, so I'm going to take this opportunity while I can to get the drivers for this computer, because I might try seeing if I can install them in safe mode, or at least, no, it won't let me install them in safe mode, but one thing I actually should look up too is how to create a new user account through the command prompt. I think it's net user something or another. I believe that's how you do it. Let me find out here. Create new user account in Windows 10 through, or using command prompt. There we go. Okay, so let me read up on this. Okay, so where is my command prompt? There we go. So we're gonna do back to system 32. We're going to go net user, and then I'm just going to put my first name / add. There we go. Net user. We'll just set a generic password of capital P password 1. Or actually, that's a different user account, my bad. Oh, okay, never mind. Is that how that works? I think that's how that worked. I don't know. We can give it a try. I got so far though, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to see if I can browse the root here. Let's just go to the C drive and see if something will work. Oh my goodness. Hey, I got a file browser. I have a file browser. Haha. Now, I don't know if my user account was made. I'm just gonna like do something like no, wait, hang on. Net user question mark. Actually, I should probably go net user Jordan/active. Yes. La 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 la. Actually, what I probably could do is make sure this net user password. I don't think it will let me do that command, or at least in that form. But I think the account. I see my name. It's right there. Okay. So if I refresh this, it's not going to show up because I've never been signed in yet. So when I sign in, my name should then pop up on this list. Give me a minute. Let me go to a lighter weight website so that way this isn't hogging all the CPU. Okay. So no thanks. I'm feeling like I want to try to log in. I think, I don't know. This is going to be a bit risky. I don't think this is going to work because I think they changed it in Windows Vista later, but I'm going to give it a try here. So at 2242 space interactive cmd.exe. Yeah. It will not run interactively. Use scheduled tasks. So yeah, this used to be a command that you could use to run the command prompt in system account, the big system account, but they blocked that in Windows Vista and later, so you can't do that anymore, which kind of sucks. So it will not start a command prompt at, in my case, 10:42 p.m. So that is pretty unfortunate. But I'm feeling pretty good. Actually, no. Let's not do that. Can I potentially just disconnect this default user thing, then sign in as the other account? I don't know if it's going to let me do that. Because knowing my luck, what it's going to do is it's going to it's just going to want me to friggin' go back to the out-of-box experience, and I don't want it to do that. Come on. Just go. Just do it. Or it's not liking me today. Okay. Shut down dash -R-T0. Let's restart the computer. I love how it still says just a moment. I don't know. If this doesn't work, I'm going to come back to it another day because I don't want to spend too much time on this. It's going right back into the out-of-box experience once again. Given that it says it's just a moment there, and the account called default user 0 is probably the one that's being logged in at the moment to run the out-of-box experience. So I have a feeling that, yeah, Windows just loves the phrase, just a moment. Yeah, you betcha it does. You betcha. Yep. As I figured it was going to do that. Oh, what we're going to do, now that we're in normal mode, let's see if we can run a command prompt with administrator privileges and just go CMD. But I'm just going to do some stuff behind things back. I'm just going to say, screw this out-of-box experience. I don't need it. It is making use of the disk. It is doing stuff in the background. Alright, did it run? Oh yeah, it's behind the command prompt window. Of course it is. Where are you at, command prompt? I thought you were supposed to be up front and center. Can't hit switch 2. That's really annoying. Let me go into details real quick. End task. End task. I'm going to have to do it this way because it's just not going to let me do it. So we're just going to end that version of the process. And then shift F10. Oh, excuse me. Well, now I'm curious. What happened if I do a Control-Alt-Delete? Wonder if it would bring up the screen that I would want. I have a feeling, though, this is not going to work out in my favor. So the Cortana setup stuff just runs over the desktop. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it. And I think the only way you could change that is if you were in, like, group policy settings or you changed it through a sysprep. But I can't even get to that point. So I'm probably just going to do a installation from another computer and then just drop the drive back in this and let it reconfigure itself. That'll probably be just what I do. Because this is literally not working. Oh, I think I know why the command prompt wasn't showing up. It's because Explorer was running. And Explorer is set to be forced to show black. That makes more sense now that I think about it. Very much so. Not really going to show me too much on the default user 0 thing. Interesting. So I managed to break it again. Aha!
All right, we got our command prompt window back. So that's a good sign. Can we run Internet Explorer? Yes, we can run Internet Explorer. Perfect. I think another running real quick. If I can stop MSN from loading. Come on. Nobody cares for MSN. Just load the new tab. It's still... Stop. Of course. Of course. Alright, so just go to Google. Don't need you to be loading any other news articles in the background. I just want that. Okay, there you go. So first things first, what I want to do is go get the graphics driver. So we're going to go to nvidia.com. All right, so we're on nvidia.com. So let's zoom out so I can get access to all the options. So I want to get all NVIDIA drivers. Okay. So this is not a Titan, it's a GeForce. And even then, it's at the bottom of the barrel. This is a 6 series. And we're using, I guess you could say, Windows 8 64-bit. Not like it makes much of a difference. And there we go, 309.08. And we're going to download that. Show all content, why not? Internet Explorer. I don't know if the... Oh, I guess I just have to click download. Ah, there we go. All right, save. And away we go. Okay. Cool. So let's go ahead and let's run this. As long as I can get the display driver to work, that might help out a little bit with some of the memory management and some of the CPU usage, because then it doesn't have to hunt for the display driver, which is probably what it's doing. And plus, the desktop window manager won't lag so hard, I hope. This will help out a lot, I feel. Or at least I sure hope it does. Aha, cool. All right. Just an Express, just do that. Alrighty. Probably gonna call it here for the night. I gotta get to bed for class tomorrow, so I might pick up on this tomorrow if it ever succeeds. So, yeah. I guess we'll see if we ever get past the out-of-box experience when it comes to this poor computer. So I'll catch you guys in the next one, hopefully.